These wetlands along a Tennessee gas pipeline project in Pike County, Pennsylvania, were the home to a large population of frogs, newts, salamanders, and other wildlife, but that's unlikely now. The Delaware Riverkeeper Network recently conducted several site surveys along the pipeline, which runs through or near Delaware State Forest. Despite calls from the Delaware Riverkeeper Network to delay a restoration project for this area, Pennsylvania environmental officials allowed the wetlands to be drained by the company.
This wetlands, as devastated as it is teeming with life. There are newts, there are tadpoles, there are amphibians that are living here, that are reproducing, that are attempting to grow and come to full adulthood. And we at the Delaware Riverkeeper Network believe that that needs to happen at this point, that the Tennessee gas pipeline should not be allowed to come in and implement this restoration work, because doing so at this time when this wetlands, as devastated as it is teeming with life, they will be simply adding insult to injury.
The Delaware Riverkeeper Network had hoped to assemble a group of volunteers to rescue the amphibians and move them to nearby wetlands, but with the okay of a number of state agencies, the company went ahead with the action.
The Tennessee Gas Pipeline 300 line went into service in November. So Tennessee Gas Pipeline has had many, many months, including a number of warm winter months when they could have come out and done the restoration work of this wetlands that's required by their permits for the project. But instead they chose to sit on their hands. They chose to procrastinate. They chose not to undertake that important restoration work at a time when this area was not teeming with life as it is now.
This isn't the first time concerns have been raised about wetlands protection here. The Pike County Conservation District has also found violations.
According to information we have on the record, we at the Delaware Riverkeeper Network, this wetland was supposed to have been restored already, and there's not supposed to be any additional activity in or around this wetland. And clearly you can see this wetland's not restored. It is in fact highly damaged, and you're about to see another vehicle run over the ramp that is right inside this wetland still. And it's not just a wetlands, it's clearly a flowing body of water. We would characterize this as a stream that's also coming through this area. So they've done a lot of damage, a lot of devastation, and we certainly don't have any restoration here.
Environmentalists say other planned pipeline paths will cut across or impact Pennsylvania's mountain ridges, forests, and pristine streams such as Dimmock Meadows.
We have a lot of damage that happens to these creeks. There's a lot of deforestation, the removal of trees and shrubs and native vegetation that are critical to the quality of these creeks. As a result of that removal of vegetation and the tremendous earth moving and earth disturbance that happens, including on some very steep slopes, you end the failure of companies like Tennessee Gas Pipeline to properly carry out erosion and sediment controls, to quickly and effectively take restoration measures. You end up having a lot of sedimentation, a lot of pollution that gets washed into these streams and clogs them. It clogs the habitat, it degrades the water quality. So the loss of the vegetation coupled with the pollution inputs because of the bad practices of folks like the Tennessee Gas Pipeline Company, you have degradation of what used to be, otherwise would be, exceptional value streams that are critically important to the health of the main stem Delaware River.
Even after the companies finish restoration work, the affected areas never return to the original natural conditions.
When they do take their mitigation measures, when they do, put the matting down, put the seeds in, take the steps that their permits say they're supposed to take, they do it badly. They do it very badly. And what we end up with are denuded landscapes with maybe a plop here and there of vegetation, but you don't have a restored landscape. You don't have the level of protection you need.